Hello and a very warm welcome to today's session brought to you by Team Testbook Super Coaching. I hope all of you are doing really well. देरी नहीं करते हुए फटाफट से आज के सेशन को स्टार्ट करते हैं. Let's very quickly dive into a quick discussion. I hope आप लोगों ने अच्छी तरीके से कल की रिकॉर्डिंग देख ली होगी and you would have actually covered those aspects. आज हम कुछ questions को cover करेंगे. Along with that, I'll be reintroducing some of the concepts that we've been talking about so far. ये सारी की सारी चीजें हम आज के इस particular session के माध्यम से करेंगे. So what will be our agenda for today's session? आज का हमारा main agenda, आज का हमारा primary agenda is going to be will be looking at, we will be covering some important aspects जो आपके कल के सेशन में हम लोगों ने कवर किए थे. ये सेशन आज अपलोड था, मैंने टेलीग्राम प्लेटफॉर्म पे शेयर भी कर दिया था. आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू हैव गॉन ओवर इट. उसके अंदर हम काफी सारी चीजों को डिस्कस किया था, कवर किया था. गुड इवनिंग कोमल, अनुष्का, रानी, सोनाली, कोमल, कस्तूरी, फ्रांस, श्वेता, पद्मा, इशिता, सूरज, एंसानी, सोनाली. Good evening, everyone. So let's just quickly get started. लेकिन उससे पहले we've got like 5 icebreaker questions as well. 5 आपके icebreaker questions भी हैं और कल से हम लोग दोबारा से आपका जो 1000 क्वेश्चन जिसमें हम लोगों ने क्वेश्चन 72 कवर कर दिया था उसको भी कल हम लोग रिज्यूम करेंगे. ठीक है. गुड इवनिंग स्पॉटलाइट, क्वेस्ट फॉर लाइफ. गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. अच्छा, now half of a yellow sun is written by इसका I will come on to this particular answer. I will come on to this particular answer. इसको अभी पाक कर दीजिए. First, let's quickly look at the icebreaker questions for today. जल्दी से सबसे पहले icebreaker questions देखते हैं. War of the Roses. War of the Roses in English history was fought between which of the houses? कौन-कौन से दो houses में आपका वॉर ऑफ रोजेस लड़ा गया था? जो आपका वॉर ऑफ रोजेस था, आपको सिग्निफिकेंट इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट्स जो आ रहे हैं उनके बारे में भी पता होना चाहिए. दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज इंटेग्रली इंपॉर्टेंट. So War of Roses, very good, excellent. Shabnam, Shweta, Padma, Ishita, Diya, Simar, Arshia, Spotlight, Sonali, Amit Verma, Suraj, everybody has got it right. You are absolutely right. It was fought between the House of Lancaster and York. ठीक है, दो houses जिनके बीच में ये War of Roses लड़ा जा रहा है. It is the House of Lancaster and House of York, right? आपको ये चीज याद रखनी है. बिकॉज ध्यान में रखिएगा, ये चौसे के टाइम पे भी हम लोग कहते हैं आपका 100 years वॉर क्या है, आपके 100 years वॉर के अंदर क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट्स आ रहे हैं. तो ऑल ऑफ यू शुड बी वेल अवेयर, ऑल ऑफ यू शुड बी वेल वर्स्ड, ऑल ऑफ यू शुड बी नोइंग दिस एंटायर एस्पेक्ट. तो आपका वॉर ऑफ रोसेस कौन कौन लड़ रहा है? लैंकास्टर एंड यॉर्क. ओके, हाउस ऑफ लैंकास्टर एंड हाउस ऑफ यॉर्क. इसको आप प्लीज अपने चौसे के बैकग्राउंड में, यूरोपियन लिटरेचर का वैसे भी जो बैकग्राउंड है उसकी हिस्ट्री आपको अच्छी तरीके से पता होनी चाहिए. तो ये चीज आप इसको याद रखिएगा. आपका नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अच्छा आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 से हमने क्यों स्टार्ट किया? बिकॉज कल की मास्टर क्लास में मैंने आपको क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 to 12 करवा दिए थे. ठीक है, कल की मास्टर क्लास जिसके अंदर आपका लीडर बोर्ड भी शेयर हुआ था, कल की मास्टर क्लास के अंदर हम लोगों ने क्वेश्चन 1 to 12 कर लिए थे. तो एक बार मास्टर क्लास को भी देख लीजिएगा, मैंने उसका लिस्ट भी आप लोगों को दे रखा है, सेशन का लिंक आप लोगों को टेलीग्राम प्लेटफॉर्म पे दे रखा है. तो एक बार मास्टर क्लास के क्वेश्चंस को भी कर लीजिएगा, बिकॉज टू बी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड इन दोस क्वेश्चंस इज आल्सो ऑफ पैरामाउंट सिग्निफिकेंस. ठीक है, लेट्स सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गेट दिस राइट. लेट्स सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गेट दिस राइट. जल्दी से देखेंगे कितने लोगों का सही आया. अर्शिया सिद्दीकी हैज गॉट इट राइट. Very good, very good. Arshia Siddiqui, right? Arshia Siddiqui. Where is Arshia's name gone? Yeah, Arshia Siddiqui has got it right. Excellent, Arshia. Death thou shalt die. Death thou shalt die. So technically ये क्या हो जाता है? This is an example of paradox. Why is this an example of paradox? जहाँ पर जब आप juxtapose कर रहे हैं to contradictory statements को, you are putting together two contradictory statements, that's basically called a paradox. So death is actually known for dying itself, but यहाँ पर हम क्या देख पाते हैं? Death thou shalt die, this becomes an example of a paradox. ये किसका example हो जाता है? This becomes an example of paradox. ये कहाँ से आया हुआ है? जॉन डन. आज भी याद है फाउंडेशन बैच में स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म को करते हुए वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट एल्बा, like the Good Morrow. Good Morrow is a work that is coming from the pen of John Donne. John Donne, your metaphysical poet that you're able to see. तो ये आपको याद रखना है. This is taken from the metaphysical poet John Donne, Holy Sonnet 10, where the speaker is asking death to not be proud and vain, right? So death thou shalt die, right? So this is an example of a paradox. और आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए ये कहाँ से ले रखा है? Sonnet number 10 of John Donne, metaphysical poet. Please remember that as well. Okay. Okay, moving on to the 15th question. Name the writer who creates the binary between head consciousness and blood consciousness. हेड कॉन्शियसनेस एंड ब्लड कॉन्शियसनेस के बीच में ये बाइनरी क्रिएट करने वाले कौन से राइटर हैं? कौन से राइटर हैं? हेड कॉन्शियसनेस, ब्लड कॉन्शियसनेस, कौन से राइटर इस बाइनरी को क्रिएट कर रहे हैं? कस्तूरी, शबनम, श्वेता पद्मा, एवरीबडी हैज गॉट द राइट आंसर, एक्सीलेंट। दिस इज डीएच लॉरेंस, जो स्टार इक्विलिब्रियम का कॉन्सेप्ट भी आपको देते हैं। ही इज गिविंग यू द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टार इक्विलिब्रियम एज वेल। ये आपको स्टार इक्विलिब्रियम का भी कॉन्सेप्ट देते हैं, सो प्लीज मेक अ नोट ऑफ दैट एज वेल। स्टार इक्विलिब्रियम का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ये भी आपको डीएच लॉरेंस दे रहे हैं। So D.H. Lawrence, you know, the same person who's trying to tell you that if you are having a psychological problem that is there, or you know something is troubling you in your personal life, it will impact your professional life as well. So blood consciousness, आपका head consciousness, star equilibrium, ये सब explore कर रहे होते हैं। ये poems भी लिख रहे हैं। ये you know why novels matter, ये essays भी लिख रहे हैं। He's also writing you know important works altogether like the White Peacock, or you know Sons and Lovers, the Rainbow. आपका how you're able to see Rainbow originally supposed to be the sisters all together. Lady Chatterley's Lovers, again a band work over here. तो ये चीज आपको थोड़ा सा ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. You'll have to keep that in mind overall. This is D.H. Lawrence. Okay, this is D.H. Lawrence that we're talking about. Okay, 20 love poems and a song of despair. 20 love poems, 20 love poems and a song of despair. इसको मैं लिख भी रही हूँ. 20 love poems, 20 love poems and a song of despair, and a song of despair, and a song of despair. ये किसने लिखा है? 20 लव पोएम्स एंड अ सॉन्ग ऑफ डिस्पेयर, ये किसने लिखा है? 20 लव पोएम्स एंड अ सॉन्ग ऑफ डिस्पेयर, हु इज द वन हु इज राइटिंग दिस? 20 लव पोएम्स एंड अ सॉन्ग ऑफ डिस्पेयर, very very popular. 20 love poems, excellent, excellent. I can see Shabnam giving us the correct answer. Good evening, Ish. Shabnam has got it right. Shabnam got it right. Pablo Neruda is absolutely the correct answer. So 20 love poems and a song of despair. This is by the Chilean poet. This is by the Chilean poet Pablo Neruda. So 20 love poems and a song of despair. Pablo Neruda ka work hai. He's a Chilean poet. He's known for getting, you know, romantic poetry in the 20th century tradition altogether. ठीक है, तो ये please इसको याद रखिएगा, and you better keep this in mind. The playwright Bolshoi, remember the recipient of the Nobel Prize is from. So Bolshoi is from where? Bolshoi is from where? Bolshoi, good evening everyone. The playwright Bolshoi is from where? Where is Bolshoi from? Remember, he got the Nobel Prize in 1986, one of the first important African writers to get that. Then Nadine Godimer, JM Kutsi, they're also getting your, you know, your Nobel Prize. Actually, IPL maybe Kutsi is very important. No, not Kenya. Simran Tomar has got it right. It's Nigerian, right? Kenya आपका Gugiwa Thiong'o है, right? Kenya Mau Mau Gugiwa Thiong'o है. Don't get confused at all between Gugiwa Thiong'o. Bolshoi is Nigerian, right? He's a playwright, poet, essayist. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1986. The Invention, Lion and the Jewel, wrote his memoirs, Aake, the Years of Childhood. You should know about this as well. Telephone Conversation is a very famous poem. ये आपके काफी सारे syllabuses में भी included है. Mandela's Earth and Other Poems. This is also another important work that we're able to see. Okay, तो इसको please थोड़ा सा ध्यान में रखिएगा. The title of the Wasteland is derived from. Remember, Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is derived from, you know, the Love Song of Hardayal. But आपका Wasteland का जो title है ये कहाँ से derive हो रहा है? Where is the title of Wasteland derived from? Where is the title of the Wasteland derived from? Wasteland का जो title है वो कहाँ से derive हो रहा है? वेस्टलैंड का टाइटल कहाँ से डिराइव हो रहा है? वेयर आर यू एबल टू सी वेस्टलैंड का टाइटल डिराइव हो रहा है? Very good, Sonali Mishra, Anushika. Everybody has got it right. Everybody has got it right. From ritual to romance. From ritual to romance. Wasteland का जो title है, ये आपका From Ritual to Romance, which was written by Jesse Weston. It is telling you the tale of the Fisher King whose genitals have been wounded, so therefore he is absolutely infertile, alluding to the barrenness that you're able to see altogether, right? And therefore Wasteland आपका यहाँ पर आ रहा है, ठीक है? तो टाइटल्स आपको याद रखने हैं, चाहे वो विलियम बटलर येट्स की पोएट्री हो, चाहे वो थॉमस स्टर्न्स एलियट की पोएट्री हो, the way that they are selecting their titles, where are the titles coming in from, ये आपके लिए important हो जाते हैं. The inheritance of loss, the characters are trapped in. Where are the characters trapped in? In the inheritance of loss, कोई बात नहीं रवि, पता होते हुए भी रॉन्ग, तो तभी अभी आपको प्रैक्टिस करवाई जा रही है, सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट. Right, the characters are trapped in. What are the characters trapped in? Sai, Biju story, the Booker Award winning book altogether that we are able to see. The characters are trapped in. Abhishek Sai, very good. Lover has given the right answer. Lover has given the right answer. This is the India's rigid class system also that you are able to see. So class system के अंदर they are definitely trapped all together. Sai and Biju की जो story है, that is what you are actually able to see. So inheritance of lost Kiran Desai's work that we are able to look at. So even though Anita Desai was nominated for the Booker but didn't really receive it, but her daughter got it in the second attempt only. The first attempt she had was Hullabaloo in the Guava Orchard, and then of course this work received the Booker Prize overall. Okay. Manohar Malgonkar's novel Distance Drum depicts what? Distance Drum is depicting what? Manohar Malgonkar का जो work है Distance Drum, what is it? Very nice, very good. If it's in your syllabus, very nice, lover, very nice. Okay, what is distant drum trying to show? What is distant drum trying to, here we are coming on to this. Very good. Ravi Pandey has got it right. Army life experiences is absolutely the correct answer. So Manohar Malgonkar's work Distance Drum. This depicts the army experiences, right? Malgonkar was this Indian novelist and non-fiction writer. He's also serving as a civil servant altogether. So please keep that in mind. Acha. Now coming back. So these were your icebreaker questions. Jaldi say I will introduce a few quick points, right? विच वी वर डूइंग येस्टरडे. एक और तरीका जो पढ़ने का होता है जिसको हम लोगों ने काफी बार क्लास में भी इंट्रोड्यूस करने की कोशिश करी है, दैट इज जॉनर वाइज आप उसको पढ़ सकते हैं. जैसे वॉर नॉवेल्स हो गए या नॉवेल्स ऑफ द 20th सेंचुरी हो गई या 21st सेंचुरी राइटिंग्स हो गए, तो वो चीजें भी आपको देखनी है. फटाफट से 5 मिनट. तो जैसे आई टोल्ड यू हाफ ऑफ अ येलो सन वाज रिटन बाय half of a that was your first question. Half of a yellow sun was written by who's writing half of a yellow sun? Half of a yellow sun कौन लिख रहा है? Half of a yellow sun कौन लिख रहा है? Who's writing half of a yellow sun? So Half of a Yellow Sun is a work by Adichie. Adichie is the one who's publishing this particular work. Adichie is the writer, right? So Adichie is the writer who's actually coming up with Half of a Yellow Sun. Okay. So please keep that in mind. Half of a Yellow Sun. तो आपको categorization करके आप पढ़ सकते हैं. जैसे आप African literature कर सकते हैं, Black feminism में आप कर सकते हैं. This was published in 2006. Inheritance of Loss was also published in 2006, right? By Fourth Estate, the novel is trying to tell you about the Biafran War through the perspective of Olana, Ogwu, Richard, and again Nigerian civil war जो take place कर रहा था, how are lives of people changing altogether, the effect of war on these people's lives. That is also something which is actually shown, in proper light over here. Okay, who's the writer who's writing Mimic Men? Mimic Men किसने लिखा है? Who's the writer who's written the work Mimic Men? मिमिक मैन ये जो वर्क आ रहा है ये किसने लिखा है? तो इस तरह से आप क्लस्टर्स भी बना सकते हैं. यू कैन एक्चुअली कवर योर पोस्ट colonial राइटिंग्स, यू कैन एक्चुअली कवर योर अदर इंपॉर्टेंट राइटिंग्स. सो मिमिक मैन कौन लिख रहे हैं? मिमिक मैन, no lover, mimic men, very important work. Very good. Pooja Maurya has got it right. Pooja Maurya has got it right. Absolutely right, Pooja. पूजा मौर्य का बिल्कुल सही जवाब आ गया है. So Mimic Men is a work that is by V.S. Naipaul. Naipaul is the writer who's writing. Naipaul is the one who's actually helping you out with this particular work, Mimic Men altogether. Mimic Men, जो कि it is actually telling you the story of Ralph Singh. Again, how we imitate. Mimicry is a very important concept. Hybridity is a very important concept that Baba also talks about. Homi K. Baba also talks about. So you're able to see that how the entire art of mimicking. So Ralph Singh के character के अंदर, Ralph Singh के character के through Mimic Men is actually a very important commentary that we are able to look at. ठीक है? So please keep that in mind. Do remember this. I'll just hide myself so that you can see this a little better over here. So Mimic Men by V.S. Naipaul, right, coming in 1967, and you are able to see it is telling you the story of Ralph Singh. Ralph Singh की story के ऊपर it is actually centered, right? So Ralph Singh over here plays a very critical role. He's an Indo-Caribbean politician from Isabella, telling you the story. He's in exile in London. right? And he's trying to bring his political memoirs. Remember, Conrad is also writing his memoirs in exile called Joseph Anton, Memoirs of Joseph Anton. When, sorry, I'm saying Conrad is in exile when Salman Rushdie is in exile. So, what is Rushdie writing? Salman Rushdie, when he's in exile, what are we able to see? Is writing memoirs of Joseph Anton because he was inspired by Joseph Conrad and Anton Chekhov, right? तो ये चीज आपको याद रखना है. डीकोलोनाइजेशन का प्रोसेस हो रहा है. रैल्फ सिंह इज शेयरिंग पॉलिटिकल पावर विद आफ्रो अमेरिकन कैरिबियन पॉलिटिशियन. And then he's also telling you about his personal note altogether. His personal entire career is coming in. तो ये चीज आपको थोड़ा सा ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. Okay, please keep that in mind. Okay, who's the writer who's written Lonely Londoners? So Lonely Londoners is a work by which writer? So post-colonial writings, इस तरह से भी आप उनको compartmentalize करके you can actually study the works altogether. Try to have curiosity. Try to be really curious about things altogether because you are researchers, you're future researchers. You really need to show that. Who's the one who's coming in? Excellent, Pooja Maurya. Pooja Maurya is on fire today. Samuel Selvin is the correct answer. Pooja Maurya got it right. Pooja Maurya got it right. This is absolutely the correct answer. So, what are you able to see? You are able to see that Samuel Selvin, right? Samuel Selvin, Sam Selvin is the one who's coming up with this work, Lonely Londoners. This is, Trinidadian work, diasporic literature में foundation batch में भी हम लोगों ने इसको cover कर रखा है. And again, what are we able to see? We are able to see that, you will have to cover, you will have to take a tour, you will have to look at your Trinidadian writers, जो आपके diasporic writers हो जाते हैं. तो डायस्पोरिक लिटरेचर के अंतर्गत आपका जो राइटर्स फ्रॉम ट्रिनिडाड है, राइट, राइटर्स फ्रॉम ट्रिनिडाड एंड टोबैको, दे बिकम इम्पोर्टेंट. तो लोनली लंडनर्स कौन लिख रहा है? लोनली लंडनर्स इज अ वर्क बाय सैमुअल सेल्विन. Samuel Selvin who's coming in, Sam Selvin who's coming in, right? Sam Selvin, who's writing in 1956 novel, Trinidadian author altogether. It was first to focus on the poor, the working class black people, because British Nationality Act aa gaya tha, right? And this is also, coinciding with George Lamming's The Immigrants that you're able to see. West Indians की life stories के बारे में बताते हैं, post Second World War London, right? And how London is the center of the world. Everybody is migrating to this particular place altogether. So overall, what are we able to see? The Windrush generation, the fact that everybody thinks that London is the center of the world, but how people are facing prejudices, what kind of issues they are facing, how they are separated altogether, what is the life of immigrants overall, जो आप देख पाते हो. So that is something which is being talked about over here. Please remember that. Going to the Territory is written by whom? Who's the writer writing Going to the Territory? Going to the Territory. Going to the Territory. Going to the Territory. This is a very famous word. Going to the Territory. Going to the Territory. Don't worry, lover. Just make notes so that बच्चे you're able to remember this. Going to the Territory. अभी तक Google हो जाना. अच्छा, Ralph Ellison. Very good, Rani. Rani Kumari got it right. Very nice, Rani Kumari. Rani Kumari got it right. This is Ralph Ellison, right? Ralph Ellison also becomes important for you. आपके लिए Ralph Ellison क्यों important है? Because Ralph Ellison is also a writer who's trying to tell you about blackness, about 20th century. So going to the territory, 17 essays जो आपके आ रहे हैं Ellison के द्वारा was of course very important work overall. He's trying to tell you about fresh readings of William Faulkner, Richard Wright altogether. So he's giving you a new perspective. Remember, he's the writer writing We Are Black Men, Therefore We Are Invisible Men altogether. So these all people are trying to tell you the problematics of being black altogether, how this is a power struggle over and above anything else. ये सारी चीजें आपको पता चलती हैं, right? So please keep that in mind. Please do remember that overall, that how you're able to see that these people are coming in, the way that no man's land, or sorry, going to the territory, no man's land. अभी आपका दूसरा question है. So going to the territory, नो वरीज, जस्ट रिमेंबर इट नाउ कस्तूरी, ठीक है, यू कैन मेक अ नोट। तो ये सारे के सारे आपके बेसिकली आप इसको पोस्ट कॉलोनियल राइटिंग्स के अंदर अंतर्गत डाल सकते हैं। पोस्ट कॉलोनियल राइटिंग्स में भी मेक कैटेगरीज, लाइक आपका डायस्पोरिक लिटरेचर एक कैटेगरी हो जाता है। आपका ट्रिनिडाड एंड टेबेको से जो राइटिंग्स आ रही हैं वो आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है, राइट। सो योर सो कॉल्ड राइटर्स दैट आर कमिंग इन, your concepts that are there, like Mimic Men, Ralph Sinky Story by V.S. Naipaul. No Man's Land is written by. No Man's Land is written by. So even if you cannot remember, please make a note of it and now keep it in mind. No Man's Land is written by. No Man's Land. So No Man's Land, No Man's Land, No Man's Land. Shabnam, we've already made video on that, and this will be uploaded soon. कि कितना कैसे कैसे रहेगा. No Man's Land, this is a very important work by Gilbert and Goober. गिलबर्ट एंड गूबार आर द वंस. अभी तक सही जवाब आप में से कोई भी नहीं दे रहा था. तो प्लीज कीप दैट इन माइंड दैट व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग एट दीज काइंड ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंट वर्क्स ऑल्सो, ये भी आपके लिए काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज दीज आर पार्ट्स दैट आर कमिंग इन, सो यू डू get questions that are coming. So how you're able to see that, Susan, so Gilbert and Gubar, how both of them. So let me just show you, the deck also over here, and let me hide myself so that you can see it a little better over here, right? So No Man's Land, The War of the Worlds, you are able to see it's a sequel to The Mad Woman in the Attic, Gilbert and Gubar, Mad Woman in the Attic, that you are able to see. So No Man's Land, इसका subtitle क्या है? The War of the Worlds, The War of the Worlds that you are able to look at. So No Man's Land, okay? No Man's Land. ये question आपका पूछा जा चुका है. You better make a note of it and keep that in mind, okay? You better make a note of it and keep that in mind overall. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next question that we are having. Moving on to the next question. Please just quickly tell us which famous new critic wrote the poem. Which famous new critic wrote the poem Bells for John Whiteside's Daughter. Bells for John Whiteside's Daughter. Bells for John Whiteside's Daughter. So which writer are we talking about? A very famous elegy that a writer is writing. Who's the one who's telling us? जॉन क्रो रैंसम. बाय द वे हम लोगों ने ये सारी चीजें एक दो बार यूट्यूब पे कर रखी हैं. दैट क्लियरली मीन्स जो आप लोगों ने अपने यूट्यूब के लेक्चर्स को भी नहीं रिवाइज किया है, is not a good sign. John Crow Ransom. John Crow Ransom is absolutely the correct answer. So the famous new critic जो poem लिख रहे हैं Bells for John Whiteside's Daughter. Bells for John Whiteside's Daughter. So this is written by John Crow Ransom. ठीक है, ये कौन लिख रहा है? This is a work that is coming from the pen of John Crow Ransom. John Crow Ransom is the one who's writing this altogether. And the five stanza poem is telling you about the impact that unexpected death has, on while he's telling you about this once lively girl, once loud and energetic. Remember the very recent example that had come, that poor chap girl who ate the cake and unfortunately died altogether. It's very similar story here. Bells for John Whiteside's Daughter that you were able to see. The bells are alluding to John Donne's devotion upon emergent occasions. ये आप चीजें देख सकते हो. Okay. Which work of John Donne is a defense of suicide? Which work? This is very simple. Which is the work which is a defense of suicide? There is a work which is a defense of suicide. He is writing, and Thomas de Quincey also उसको उसके बारे में बताते हैं. Which work are we talking about? Very good. Spilgan is writing. Very good. Debashish. Very nice. That's true. That's true. So, which work is a defense of suicide by Thanatos? ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. By Thanatos. इसको भी हम लोगों ने काफी बार कर रखा है. By Thanatos. Very good. Piecing got it right. Very nice. Good. Piecing got it right. So, by Thanatos is the work which was trying to tell you about self-homicide altogether, right? And even Thomas de Quincey is telling you about it. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Who has written Ode to the Confederate Dead? Ode to the Confederate Dead. ये किसने लिखा है? Who's written Ode to the Confederate Dead? It's a very long poem. This is written by Ode to the Confederate Dead. Ode to the Confederate Dead. Ode to the Confederate Dead. Who's writing this particular work? Ode to the Confederate Dead. Who's writing this particular work? Ode to the Confident. Very good piecing. Alan Tate. Very nice. Very nice. This is Alan Tate. Alan Tate is absolutely the right answer. Alan Tate is the one. So Alan Tate jo hai, Alan Tate is the one who's writing this particular work, that is Ode to the Confederate Dead. So Alan Tate jo hai, Alan Tate is the one who's writing this particular work. Very good. So इस तरह से I hope you're able to understand कल के और आज के वीडियो के माध्यम से that what are the things you have to focus on, how you supposed to be focusing on the works, क्या क्या चीजों पे आपका definitely focus and concentration रहना चाहिए, works को कैसे आपने analyze करना है, works को आपने कैसे देखना है, ये सारी चीजें आप लोगों के लिए बहुत ज्यादा important हो जाती है. We'll be pausing over here. I have a slight homework for you. एक तो जो वीडियो है कल वाली वो I think देर बार अपलोड हुई थी. I've shared the link on the Telegram platforms. Please एक बार अच्छी तरीके से उसको देख लीजिएगा, right? And cover today's session as well. कल हम लोग यहीं से resume करेंगे. Of course, important concepts को देख रहे हैं. And please don't forget to join at 11 o'clock for your master class. ठीक है, अभी master class होगी आपकी 11 o'clock. So please ensure कीजिएगा that you are definitely joining at 11 o'clock for master class, because we're going to be practicing questions ahead from question number 20, and let's see who becomes a part of the leaderboard there. Fine. Thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate everyone coming in and joining on time. In case अच्छा, और आपकी कुछ कुछ videos आ रही हैं. By the way, मैं आपको एक बार ये भी बता देती हूँ. एक second. I will just tell you very quickly. आपके कुछ कुछ initiatives जो अभी आ रहे हैं. Let me just quickly also explain it to you all. देखिए सबसे ज्यादा आपका जो segment है जहाँ से maximum questions आते हैं after literary theory criticism and cultural studies, that is poetry. तो अब आप लोगों के लिए एक नया कोर्स हम लोगों ने करा है यूट्यूब पे. दिस इज गोना बी अ फ्री कोर्स ऑल टुगेदर विच इज द क्रैश कोर्स ऑन पोएट्री. दिस इज गोना बी अ क्रैश कोर्स ऑन पोएट्री. इसका फर्स्ट पार्ट आई थिंक विल बी लाइव वेरी सून, क्योंकि वो रिकॉर्ड हो चुका है. तो यू विल हैव इट रेडी फॉर योर कंजम्पशन ऑल्सो. डेली वाईटी शॉर्ट्स के माध्यम से वी आर टेलिंग यू व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू, व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन. सो वाईटी शॉर्ट्स में भी आपका 60 डेज स्ट्रैटेजी क्या रहनी चाहिए, रादर 50 डेज स्ट्रैटेजी क्या रहनी चाहिए, हाउ यू सपोज टू बी स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम स्क्रैच ऑल टुगेदर. ये सारी की सारी चीजें आपकी कवर हो रही हैं. कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द डे एंड क्वेश्चन ऑफ द डे से वी विल बी मेकिंग श्योर दैट यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग ऑन द टेलीग्राम प्लेटफॉर्म. आई शेयर टुडेज कॉन्सेप्ट एंड क्वेश्चंस आल्सो फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. ओके, सो प्लीज रिमेंबर दैट, प्लीज कीप दैट इन माइंड. ओवरऑल इसको अच्छी तरीके से एक बार देख लीजिएगा. एंड ऑफ कोर्स आपका लिटरेरी लेजेंड्स के अंदर सैमुअल टेलर कोलरिज भी अपलोड हो जाएगा. तो काफी सारी अच्छी अच्छी चीजें they are planned up for all of you. So please make a note and effort and make sure that you are all going over it. Okay, I'll catch up with all of you. Your homework is to definitely make sure that you are reviewing all the things that we've looked at today. And in case if there are any other problems, do let me know. Fine. Thanks so much everyone for joining. Thank you Anushika, Rani, Kasturi, Devashish, Sonali, Shabnam. I'm not getting time to revise. Shabnam, just be a little more disciplined for revision. That is my piece of advice to you. Please sing Shabnam, Sonali, Ravi, Pooja. Thank you, Pooja. Amit, Kasturi, you did a very good job, Pooja. Very nice. M. Seni, Rani, Simran, Shanbaga, Devanshi, Quest for Life, Peace Singh, Sandeep. Everyone quickly just join in for the masterclass as well. Fine. Thank you everyone for joining. Take good care. Bye. Bye everyone.